Hey y'all, it's Carina and welcome back to another field placement vlog. As you know, I'm placed with the Alliance for Social Workers in Sports, and something that I really like about this placement is that I'm always given opportunities to engage with different professionals on what they're learning and what they're doing within the field. And so this week I was listening in on a presentation that was by the Athletes and Advocates for Social Justice in Sports, and they were basically giving report cards and grades for the makeup of the behavioral health staff and I guess social workers within a division. And so you were given, A through D, and they're basically covering all of the conferences. And so I really want to listen on this because I was interested in what the SEC was doing and how they were doing and how they're performing in these terms. And so of course I learned a lot of new things. I learned that there's considerable evidence that show that race and gender can really play a role in mental health provisions and even the way that athletes can respond to different interventions. And so I think this is something that divisions should really take a look at and understand that their athletes want to be represented in their behavioral health and social work staff. In the SEC report card, the University of Alabama received a D in both race and gender and a C in discipline. As a UA grad, this is kind of disappointing. Of course, I want us to be like first in everything, but that's not always the case, and I understand that. But I feel like as a university that takes on the identity of being champions, I really feel that we should be champions in every sense of the word. Champions in academics, champions in sports, but most importantly, champions in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and always making sure that our students and student athletes are represented rightly by their staff and by the people that they're surrounded by. And so I really feel like we could do better. LSU actually ranked best out of the SEC, and so hate to see it. Of course, we love to be first, but that's something to always work towards. The highlight of this report was that the SEC was actually voted best overall compared to the Big 12 and ACC. So I'm happy to see that we're doing well over here in the SEC, and it's good competition for the Big 12 and ACC to work up to being more diverse as a staff. Not only by race, but in gender too. And so some of the recommendations and resolutions that were at the end of the presentation was, of course, looking to diversify these programs and their behavioral health staff and social work staff. And I think that we should always challenge sports programs to learn more about the bias in hiring these staff. And let them know that athletes want to be represented by the people that the professionals that they're around and the people that they can go to. And so a recommendation that really caught my eye that I was super happy to see included was the inclusion of bilingual behavioral health and social workers within these programs. This is super needed because as a Latina, I've seen time and time again that there's a ton of students, and I'm assuming student athletes, that are serving as translators for their parents and their family back home. And so that can be a lot of pressure. Not only you're trying to focus on your sport, but also making sure that your family gets all of the information they need. And so by having bilingual practitioners within the field, that really can cut that whole thing out. Not having your client have so much pressure on them to get it right and be the translator, serve as a translator for their family. And so I really hope that this got your mind going on how we can be better advocates for our athletes. And if anyone is interested in these subjects, please visit socialjusticeinsports.org because they have a ton of resources and different things to read about this. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and roll tide.